Hello, my name is Alexios Kotsilinis, and I'm the founder of Adaptive X Consulting. Over the years, I have developed a reputation for rescuing failing system implementations. Today, I want to talk to you about how to rescue failing projects before they drain your company's budget and destroy your team's trust. If you're in the middle of your own system implementation, you're probably relating to the subject, either a little bit or a lot. Before we start, however, let's provide some context. Unfortunately, for decades, our industry is plagued with very poor success rates. Latest research from Gartner, McKinsey, and others show that even now, 55 to 75% of all implementations fail to reach their expected ROI. Even worse, 19% get abandoned altogether, while 17% even threaten the entire financial stability of the organization undertaking them. Surprisingly, though, completing a project successfully is not rocket science. Implementations are governed almost entirely by the simple law of cause and effect. There are specific things that, if done right, you will have an expected positive effect, and if they're ignored or done wrong, the effect will most certainly be negative. Most projects go in distress because project leaders, even if they know all this information, do not respect this law. So rescuing a project is all about evaluating it against these success factors and pitfalls, identifying what has gone right and what not, and taking steps to correct the things that are being done wrong. It's as simple as that. There's no magic recipe. Of course, knowing what to do and being able to execute it successfully are two entirely different things, but that's a story for a different time. For this video, let's just focus on what needs to be done to rescue a project. Step 1. Create clarity and provide structure. The first and most important step in gaining control is to have clear visibility of what is happening on your project. You need to do this against 4 key areas: the solution that you're trying to build, the implementation process itself while you're building the solution, the data that you're going to be put into the system, and the team that is doing the work. Trying to run a project without that visibility is the same as trying to fly a plane without having any flight instruments. You get the picture, right? To achieve that visibility, you must have crystal clear understanding on your success criteria. These are 4. First one, what is your business objectives for this project, and how do you expect the system to help you achieve those? Number 2, how much are you willing to spend to achieve that? Number 3, what is your target date that you need to start using the new system? And number 4, who from your team you want to be designing your future business processes. This is how your business will operate after go live. You obviously need your best people to do that. Ideally, all this should be known when the project is signed and starting, but you'll be surprised to know how many projects initiate without having that clarity up front. If you're tasked with rescuing a project, don't assume that that visibility exists. Even if it is there, things have certainly changed since the project started, so you must re-examine all of this. Once you've done that, you then must create the ability to measure how you are performing against those success criteria. Next, you can start evaluating what is doing well and what needs improvement. Keep in mind, however, that a failing project usually does not fail because a single area is failing. It's probably a combination of things, large and small. Again, none of this is a secret sauce. This is all well-known information, and any PMI certified PM can relay the same information. But in practice, you will be surprised to see how many projects ignore these basics and try to operate without them. Step 2. Stabilize the project before trying to accelerate. Once you have created this clarity, the next step is to stabilize the project. Do not focus on achieving results immediately, and do not focus on trying to catch up on your original plan. This is guaranteed to have a negative outcome. Start by narrowing the focus. Identify the area that have the most detrimental impact on your project and focus on fixing those. The first objective should be to correct previous detrimental behavior, not to catch up to your original plan. And also, don't try to fix everything at once, because generally speaking, Most people have only a certain limited capacity for change. When you try to change too many things at the same time, it creates confusion, frustration, burnout, and all that leads to chaos. Step 3. Rebuilding trust through clear communication and executive sponsorship. When a project is failing, trust, confidence, patience, and morale usually break down very fast. So, to rebuild trust, project executives need to communicate clearly and consistently the value of this project. The value against the organization overall, of course, but also the value to each team member. Because when people are burned out, they get less and less motivated by what is good for the company and increasingly motivated by what is good for them. It's not done intentionally or maliciously. It's an instinctive survival mechanism that we all have. Step 4. Use the right information to decide whether to rescue, reset, or stop. Not every project should continue its original form. In fact, most don't. If the project can still provide value as originally planned, then absolutely rescue it with a clear recovery plan. If the original plan is no longer feasible or no longer applicable to the updated economic or market conditions, you must reset. This is the case in the vast majority of rescues. Even worse, if the project no longer supports the business goals, for whatever reason that is, stopping it may be the most responsible decision. This is why it is so important to be able to predict where your project will be at its conclusion and providing that information months before getting there. So be brave and provide executives with information they need to make an informed and well-calculated decision. This information should be based on data. It should be honest and direct, even if it's not what the executives want or expect to hear. So let's conclude. Rescuing a failing project requires clarity, structure, sponsorship, and courage. First, make sure that you have clear success criteria defined. Secondly, set the tools to monitor your performance against those success criteria. And this will allow you to identify the issues. Third, before you start addressing issues, stabilize the project. Do not accelerate. Fourth, rebuild trust through honest communication and executive sponsorship. And finally, decide whether to rescue, reset, or stop the work, based on hardcore data and not based on people's hunches and people's wishes. Thank you for your time today. See you again on the next topic when we dive deeper on project success factors and pitfalls.